Billy Wilder is both one of the greatest screenwriters and one of the greatest directors to ever script a script and film a film. An ideal of a complete artist who does everything right. Let's check why. If Billy is a brilliant director, it's because he's a brilliant writer. His screenplays are already cinematic, visually creative, and physical. As a director, all he needs to do is not stand in his own way. And with his long takes, wide angles, and love for clear activity, he never does. In this video, we'll go through his god-level screenwriting chops, his strong characters, witty dialogue, and emphasis on action. And to better highlight Billy's brilliance, we'll show those who tried to do the same thing and failed.
My intention? Unethical, reprehensible, but very practical.
We'll take a look at Billy Wilder's 1954 romantic comedy Sabrina, penned alongside Samuel Taylor and Ernest Lehman, and compare it to Sydney Pollack's 1995 remake, penned by these guys. As far as original remake comparisons go, this is one of the most interesting cases because they managed to take everything that makes the first film special and bungle it up. Before we compare scenes to celebrate the Wilder way, let's go through the entire plot of Sabrina and Sabrina.
Who is Sabrina?
Sabrina is the plain-looking, as far as Audrey Hepburn can be, daughter of Fairchild, chauffeur to the uber-rich Larrabee family. Elder son Linus is the workaholic thinking brain of the company. Youngster David is a womanizing playboy Sabrina has had a crush on all her life. She's barely noticed. She's shipped to Paris and returns 2 years later as a sophisticated piece of attraction. Linus wants a big merger with the Tyson company, so he puppets David into an engagement with the family heiress, Elizabeth Tyson. But when Sabrina returns, David is finally smitten and puts the merger in peril. Linus manipulates David into sticking glass shards on his own ass so he can't hang out with Sabrina. Linus dates Sabrina for a while with the intention of convincing her to go to Paris with him just to get rid of her and have the wedding. Naturally, they fall for each other and a regretful Linus confesses his scheme. She decides to return to Paris alone and Linus chooses to cancel the wedding and let David journey with Sabrina. Aware that his brother's in love, David goes through the wedding so Linus gets the merger and Sabrina. Happy ending.
Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make it.
As modern movies are wont to do, the remake favors practical over analytical dialogue, watch my video on it, exposition over images, short, shallow scenes and montages instead of well-developed scenes, and of course, singles over ensemble shots. I won't center on the direction, but notice in the clips how it takes Wilder one shot to tell more than Pollack can do with 4. How sets, actors and movements are more clearly seen. Here's the introduction of the Larrabee family in the original, photographed in front of their own old photo. Or painting, I don't know. We immediately get how their status is dynastic and how David has never grown up. Linus is told to hide his photo-spoiling Wall Street Journal. In 10 silent seconds we know he can't separate business from his personal life. After his childish pose, David suavely steals a flower for his tux and suavely gets a woman to dance. Now here's the remake. We don't see the family together. Here's Mom. She says a couple useless lines the writers thought were a discreet way to show her status.
Senator, have I got...
Get it? She knows senators. Linus is on the phone away from the agitation. Of course we get some useless business lingo.
Well, I just don't feel like buying any more networks this year.
Get it? He does business. David is introduced already dancing. Insert frivolous flirting, of course.
It's so rare to meet such a beautiful woman.
Get it? He flirts. Check the body language of William Holden's David. He's athletic, bold, nimble. He won't open doors. He won't go around anything. He moves like confidence personified. The remake removes that visual personality trait and replaces it with nothing. Or Greg Kinnear pulling a Stallone mouth. Speaking of David, he takes his party date, Gretchen, who giggles, to the tennis court. It's a location apt for doublespeak.
What do we call this? Mixed singles?
The giggler tells him not to do his hopping bunny shtick over the net.
Whatever you do, you have to stay on your side of the net.
Wordplay with serving.
Okay, I'll serve.
The champagne cork almost reveals Sabrina's spying spot. David gives Gretchen a glass and bends the rule to get his way. There are no sides without a net. The player wins. A delightful little scene. An interesting location, some witty back and forth, tennis-like, and a little twist ending. Remake. No longer an indoor tennis court. It's a gardenly solarium. No use, verbal or visual, of anything particular to the place. No such quality. David goes straight to Gretchen, Sabrina watches, they're already drinking champagne, she watches, they're already dancing. It could have taken place in any location, including a blank screen. Also, the remake's Gretchen has zero personality. The original Gretchen giggled and played coy. That's all, and they couldn't keep that much. The original scene worked like a little jewel. Why change it? Serious question. Why change it? Here, David ignores Linus' secretary and enters his office. Two men turn casually. In the original, David uses language with strong imagery to force the secretary to open the door.
Miss McCardle, are you going to press that button, or do I have to take you up in my arms and break that door down using you as a battering ram?
He enters and 5 people turn in comic synchronicity. Yeah, turns out a comedy is allowed to be funny. David and Linus butt heads, and it's just sad to see how Harrison Ford is no match for Humphrey Bogart.
You're right.
Bogey is charismatic in an effortless way. He is serious but has good humor. He is someone you can believe would court his brother's girlfriend for a business deal and slightly sadistic enough to enjoy it.
Shame to say I enjoyed every minute of it.
There's no way you can believe Ford's Linus would do the same. He's dull, lifeless, and never bored. His body language is rigid and limited to forcedly lifting his forearms. He would never fire a gun mid-conversation. The remake scene ends with stand-and-deliver dialogue minus a punchline.
Elizabeth Tyson's the best thing that ever happened to you, and you told me so yourself.
In the original, Linus forces David to test their new Larrabee plastic with 8 secretaries, creating a funny finish and showing how Linus can make David do his bidding.
Yeah.
Why would the remake cut this type of physical humor? Because the remake is ashamed of being a comedy. It desperately deletes one-liners and gags and replaces them with nothing. It tries to present serious characters in a serious world, and they sometimes do and say something funny-ish, while the original has funny characters in a funny world and is proud of it.
Yesterday, we have learned the correct way how to boil water.
Let's check Sabrina in the party. David must get rid of Tyson to better flirt with Sabrina.
I certainly don't want to spend the first 18 hours of my honeymoon in a plane, sitting up. Do you?
Yes, dear.
So he engineers a way for her to leave. Sabrina arrives and we get funny shots of boys reacting. She joins David and is right at home among the swells. The remake removes Tyson from the party, so there's no farce. Sabrina arrives to no reactions and feels nauseously nervous. In the original, David and Sabrina dance as the crowd disperses, showing how indiscreet they're being and helping us to see David's mother approaching. No such visuals in the remake. We simply cut to his mother meeting the couple amid the partygoers. Boring.
To say the least.
Bet this actress is a specialist in playing kind and loving mothers.
Oh, poor you!
Sabrina keeps feeling out of place as if she's in a dream. So I ask you this. Isn't the whole point of this ugly duckling premise that she learned to be sophisticated, elegant and graceful in Paris? She should never feel uncomfortable in the Larrabee's party, and this is something irritatingly endemic in modern cinema. Characters are losers. No, hear me out. I already mentioned how the original gives David self-confident swagger and Linus natural ease. Post-Paris Sabrina is equally socially adept.
I have learned how to be in the world and of the world.
She belongs to the party, just like she can sail on Linus's boat with a happy and friendly demeanor. Just like she can have fun in Linus's office.
And such poise, as though she belonged up there.
The remake makes her nervous in the party, nervous in Linus's jet, and nervous in Linus's office.
Wow. It's, big.
In what world, Sydney? In what world is a long lens medium close-up with a shallow unfocused background big, Sydney? Why wouldn't you show an angle like this one to show the room size, Sydney? Why the fuck? Like Sabrina, David is demoted from debonair God's gift to women to just another insecure normal guy.
Really? Why?
See Holden meeting Sabrina straight back from Paris.
Taxi, miss. Cheapest rates in Glencoe.
Now witness Kinnear.
I'm great. How are you?
Well, I'm fine. How are you? And I might add, who are you?
Well, you know me. Don't you?
In the car, she throws him a shit test and our David passes with flying colors.
I could have sworn I knew every pretty girl on the North Shore.
I could have sworn you took in more territory than that.
This is maddening. I know I've seen that face before.
The remake keeps the exchange but has him fail like a regular schmuck.
I could have sworn I knew every pretty girl on the North Shore.
Oh, I could have sworn you took in more territory than that.
Ouch.
You're a loser.
Bogus Linus dances with Tyson so she won't find David with Sabrina. And so Wilder can have some fun with camera choreography. It's impossible to imagine Ford the Boar pulling off such a gentleman move. Compare.
It's millions. Suppose you dropped one.
That's what I did. What's at the end of a million? 0, 0, 0, nothing. Circle with a hole in it.
Gee, I don't know. I guess I don't know. I don't know anything about sure.
Which one?
All of them.
Learn to speak, damn you! All this is to say that the original Sabrina gives us characters who are extraordinary. They are above human. Imperfect as these people are, they are demigods. Unusually quick, charming and assured.
Thank you.
They radiate the Italian term sprezzatura, the trait of the perfect courtier. The ability to always say and do the right thing in every situation, nonchalantly. Supreme savoir-faire. The remake turned them into mere mortals. They can't quip, they can't light up a room. You can be sure that the excuse, cause there's always an excuse, is ahem, realism. These losers are more realistic. They're awkward and maladroit, therefore they're likable. That's what Hollywood thinks of you know. They want us to watch gutless wimps and think, ah, that's me. Modern Hollywood and its defenders are obsessed with using realism as an excuse for lazy, unintelligent writing and directing. As if we needed realism in a multi-million-dollar fairy tale like Cinderella story. Give me the demigods of yore anytime. They are difficult to write. A writer should run away from easy like COVID with a chainsaw. Here's a recurring joke that's removed and replaced with nothing. The Larrabee matriarch won't let her husband smoke, so he keeps hiding his cigar. In this Lubitsch-style shot, Larrabee Sr. sees his wife approaching off-screen and hides his cigar in his whiskey. Later, Linus catches him smoking in his closet, giving a funny opener for their scene together.
I don't mind you smoking in my room, but not in my clothes closet. It's good for the malls.
The same character is later shown failing at picking an olive out of a jar.
How would you do it? You can't even get a little olive out of a jar. Eat it.
And in the ending, in a throwback to David's glass-ass issue, the same thing happens to Father.
Sit down, Father.
These are just a couple humorous examples of something the original does that was heartlessly cut from the remake. The use of props. Wilder tells his story with the help of objects. This should be visual storytelling, shouldn't it? Have the characters not only say things, not only interact with each other, but do things and interact with the world around them.
Look at all these gadgets.
Sabrina first bonds with Linus when they listen to music together. Later, she sings their banana tune and we understand she's beginning to fall for him.
We have no bananas.
The remake has what? Close-ups and John Williams light. Later, Sabrina tells Linus how to carry himself in Paris. Straighten your hat and never wear an umbrella.
Never a briefcase in Paris and never an umbrella. There's a law.
David mocks his Sabrina fixed hat.
Hey, what's with the Homburg?
So he unsabrinas it and picks up his umbrella, a symbolic way of undoing their connection. In the very last scene, she straightens his hat again and right before they hug, he gets rid of his umbrella. If you ask me, this is love shown on screen. What does the remake do? They remove the hat and umbrella motif and replace it with, you guessed it, nothing. Linus meets her in an indifferent location, speaks generic whispery dialogue and close-ups with sentimental piano.
I thought it was all a lie.
So did I. It was a lie, but something happened, and then it was a lie. Paris is always a lie. I think you know I love your father better than anyone else. It was a lie. If there was anything you could ever do, save me.
I don't know how.
You promised. You're the only one who can.
How did you...
Your father was a dream. I've been following your father all my life. I told him I'd make your father happy without you.
I believe you.
I promised him I'd make your father better than you. Sabrina.
Final kiss. Why have it creative when you can have it cliched? You can bet that if these screenwriters had found a way to replace David's champagne glasses with easy, unadorned dialogue, they would have. Wilder gives David a combo of fan and ice. Then a hammock with a hole for his butt. A butthole, if you will. Apt for gags. The remake has David simply lie down with some obvious drugged-up humor.
Did the dry cleaners have your car?
He's the butt of the joke, but there's no joke of his butt. Now we've been through Wilder's masterful use of objects and actions, let's examine his genius quality dialogue.
All night long I've had the most terrible impulse to do something.
Oh, never resist an impulse, Sabrina. Especially if it's terrible.
His Sabrina is a paragon of wit.
That boy has no sense of time, no sense of direction. As a matter of fact, he has no sense.
Characters are sharp virtuosos of the bon mot. Make sure to check my video on what constitutes witty dialogue. And since we're here, like and subscribe. You can also flirt with my Patreon. Moving on, the new Sabrina has its moments of good dialogue, not gonna lie.
He's not gonna sue his own mother. Well, he's not me. Mother, go outside and blow out your candles.
Can't we send somebody?
You ever heard me referred to as the world's only living heart donor?
But overall, it's a barrage of the obvious.
Sabrina.
Jokes are consistently dumber.
Sabrina.
And there's very little subtext.
Sabrina?
Why does he keep saying that?
Check David confronting Linus. He gives him a boring punch and dramatically tells him everything he thinks.
How could you do what you did to me and to her? How could you go that far?
Originally, he slowly builds towards it with a mathematical metaphor.
I'm not very bright. Took me until this morning to add 2 and 2 together, like 2 champagne glasses and the plastic steel in Sabrina. You know what I got?
What?
The punch is much cooler. And David drives towards Linus being in love with Sabrina with more metaphor, comparing his emotions to a durable product slogan.
Linus Larrabee, the man who doesn't burn, doesn't scorch, doesn't melt, suddenly throws a $20 million deal out the window.
Appropriate for a Larrabee, isn't it?
Doesn't burn, doesn't scorch, doesn't melt. How about that?
Are you sure you don't want to go with her?
Why should I want to go with her?
Because you're in love with her.
Compare it to this dramatic nothing.
You'd blow $1 billion for this? I see.
You'll miss the plane.
Sabrina leaves for Paris in a ship, which horns away throughout the final merger meeting. So we have extra information through sound in the background. Not only that, it's an opportunity for Linus to check every synonym for failed.
I don't mean to say that our merger has hit a snag, or failed to gel, or gone up in smoke.
Before settling on the one that's more symbolically appropriate.
It has sailed away.
This dialogue is rich in subtext, metaphor, synapses, references, and banter.
Just one thing you overlooked. I haven't proposed and she hasn't accepted.
Oh, don't worry, I proposed and Mr. Tyson accepted. Did you kiss him?
They talk of one thing meaning another.
Oh, you need dusting.
I beg your pardon.
Compare.
David wants to run off with her.
That's nice, with the chauffeur's daughter.
I don't care if he runs off with the gardener's grandmother. I just don't want him to run off with the plastics merger.
I like Sabrina. I always have. But I'm not about to kiss off $1 billion. I don't care what she did to her hair.
Here, Sabrina hints at her father being a chauffeur by being ambiguous.
General Motors and Rolls-Royce?
Is your father on the board of directors of all those companies?
Well, you might say he runs things.
Compare.
Of course I do. You're my neighbor on DeSource Lane.
And you're David.
No such wit.
I sure am.
David gives Sabrina poetic plans for the future.
We'll build ourselves a raft and drift across the Pacific, like Kon-Tiki. Or climb the highest mountain, like Annapurna.
Here, he's too dumb to know the names Kon-Tiki and Annapurna.
Well, shucks. Whatever, I don't know.
A case of mastery of language over amateur dabbling. Here's Linus calling David to get a scolding.
You got a minute, David?
Not right now.
Well, the old man wants to see you. You better come along. He's frothing at the mouth.
Oh, what about?
You guess.
Animal, vegetable, or mineral?
Definitely animal.
Now let's have their IQ.
You got a minute?
Not right now. I actually have an appointment.
Sure you do.
Let me be blunt. These characters are intelligent.
I always make it a point to have control.
These ones are stupid. Our Sabrina speaks of operettas, prime ministers, and crone.
Like in a Viennese operetta. The young prince falls in love with the waitress at the Ratskeller, and the prime minister is sent to buy her off. He offers her 5,000 kronen. No, she says.
Fake Sabrina speaks of movies, lawyers, and dollars.
Like a lawyer in a movie. He goes to the unsuitable waitress and says the family is prepared to offer you $100,000 to stay away from their son.
I like movies, you know, but let's be real. Who sounds smarter here? To conclude, my point is not that classic films are better than modern ones. They are, but that's not the point here. Even for his time, Wilder's takes were unusually long and his scripts unusually sharp.
I always make it a point to be lucky, too.
The point is how a premise is just a pretense for personality. Dialogue has no value if the words have no bite. Close-ups and saccharine pianos cannot tell a story better than a clever visual motif. Billy Wilder's films are tight, articulate, and visual. No wonder he could hop from 10 to 10 to 10 faster than Pete Davidson.
We want Billy.
So never forget, in a world where this exists,
Just imagine, you press a button and factories go up. Or you pick up a telephone and 100 tankers set out for Persia. Or you switch on the dictaphone and say, buy all of Cleveland and move it to Pittsburgh.
you should never accept this.
Wow. It's, big.